The Wii U, though, did have some stinkers. Let's get the stinkers out of the way because I feel like the stinkers are... It's negativity, and the Wii U's full of negativity, but let's get it out of the way so we can talk about the good stuff after. I think the most disappointing games, personally for me, that I played, there's a few that stick out. Mario Party 10 was an abomination. To be fair, I haven't played Mario Party since Mario Party 5 at that point. 5 was the last one I bought on the GameCube. After that, I kind of just said, they're always the same thing every year or whatever, so I stopped buying them. But of course, you go back into something like gaming, you want to see where all your favorite series as a kid, where they were at. You know, the last entry I played was 5, the newest one is 10, let's see what it is. That gimmick with the car is very, very stupid, and it destroys the whole point of what Mario Party tries to do with its board game mechanics and competition, the competition within, other players. It's very weird. It was a very weird choice. Mario Party 9 introduced it, and Mario Party 10 carried on with it. I don't know how the hell it survived. It made Mario Party 10, because Mario Party 9 got absolutely shitted on because of that car mechanic. So I don't know. It was a bold choice to do that. I remember them pushing Mario Party 10. The selling point was that you could control Bowser with the Wii U gamepad, and there was exclusive mini games with those controls, and that's fine. That's how they marketed most of the Wii U stuff anyway. It's just that a simple thing like taking the car out would have propelled that game to extremely new heights. Let's just say that. Another one that I thought is very bad, a horrible ass game, is Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. You want to talk about bland and vanilla? That is it. That is the definition of that. It was just a tennis game. It was just a tennis game. It could have been actual tennis, and it would have been more understandable to be the way it is, rather than give it Mario characters. The only power-ups that were in that game was the Mega Mushroom, and that's how they advertised it, was, oh, look how big the characters get. But it's like, okay, fine, but where's, all the stuff from the GameCube Mario Tennis Power Tour? All those characters had special moves. Like Mario had a big ass hammer. I think Wario had a spring racket or something that would get the ball when it got too far. Luigi would have elements of the Luigi's Mansion games. That Mario Tennis on the GameCube was so damn good. The courses were so damn good. And then we get to Ultra Smash, and Ultra Smash just had clay court, hard court, grass court, Mario characters, and Mega Mushrooms. That was literally it. There were no specific modes, nothing like that. It was just so damn bland. And I'll give it credit for the graphics. The graphics looked really pretty, but that's pretty much all you can say about it in a positive way. That game was god awful. Mario Tennis Aces might not be fantastic either, but it is leagues better than Ultra Smash. And then another one that was pretty disappointing to me, just because I was a fan of the N64 game, Star Fox Zero. Star Fox Zero was supposed to be this big return to form, but I don't know what happened, man. Somewhere along the lines, that controller scheme was just not it. It was very jarring having to be in the cockpit of the plane in the Wii U, in your hands with the Wii U gamepad, and then you look up at the TV to see what's going on around you, and you had to keep doing that, and it just caused confusion. I got a headache. Honestly, no, I didn't get a headache. I hate when people say that. It wasn't that bad. It just wasn't great. It wasn't good, honestly. It could have... I think if that game had a better control scheme and, literally just a better control scheme, just make it where I either look at the Wii U gamepad or look at the TV, preferably the TV, I think that game would have had, a different tune being sung to it. But no, it got negative reviews. It got negative reactions. Some people liked it, but most people didn't. I liked it for what it was, but at the end of the day, I much rather would have just played Star Fox 64 on the 3DS. The 3DS came out with the Star Fox 64 remaster, and it was beautiful, and that was exactly what I wanted. But Star Fox Zero was not it. I feel bad for that game, though. Part of me really wished that game succeeded, and I kind of want it to get ported to the Switch, just because I feel like they could probably breathe new life into that. But at this point, maybe just bring a Star Fox game, a new Star Fox game. Let's leave Zero alone. And then the biggest shitfest for sure was the Animal Crossing game on the system. This was horrendous. Now, granted, I and I'm a recent Animal Crossing fan. New Horizons put me onto the series. I never once played any other of them until I played New Horizons. But it doesn't take a fan to know that Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is the worst Animal Crossing game in the series. That game just Mario Partied it up. It was a board game, and you used actual amiibos in it. They integrated it. I don't know how. I never played it. I've just seen screens of it. I've seen videos of it. Everyone says it sucks. So I believe that in this case, it does suck. Because when I think Animal Crossing, I don't think of a board game. I think of being on a land where I can make it my own. That is the appeal of it to me. Bringing it into the, board game genre is just not it. Do not do that, please, for the love of God. Let's talk about amiibos. Speaking of amiibos, Nintendo at this point to, I guess, try to get some sales. They introduced amiibos, these little 3-inch figurines from Nintendo that they started launching along with Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. The whole gimmick of these were they had you could scan them on your Wii U gamepad and they would appear in the game. So if you had a Mario amiibo, you scanned it, and he would appear in Super Smash Brothers, and you could train that amiibo to be a really good fighter or whatever. And it was a good way to get good at the game. I'll give you that. I think that getting good at the game, if you really practiced with your amiibos, I think you could have been a pretty solid player by the end of it. But personally speaking, I don't think Nintendo ever did enough with amiibos. I feel like amiibos would unlock some costumes in Mario Kart or some skins in Mario Maker, things like that, and it just wasn't ideal for me. They ended up being just collectibles. They ended up being 3-inch collectibles that I would buy and put on my shelf, or used to be on my shelf. Now they're in a bag somewhere. And I bought a lot of them. I was trying to get as many as I could as they were coming out, but eventually I just stopped because I realized maybe I should just buy the characters I actually like, because it's I wanted to get them all at one point, but then they became so ridiculously hard to get. The prices skyrocketed, and it became another bullshit scalper market, and it wasn't for me, and I wasn't gonna pay $100 for a 3-inch figure. There's just no way. I think the most I ever spent on one was $35, and it was for Cloud. But I really wanted Cloud, and online he was going for a crazy amount, so I got Cloud for $35, and even then I was kind of disappointed in myself, but it is what it is. But I got that Cloud figure. He's still on my shelf back there. That's the only one that I keep on the shelf. There are a couple more that I want. I do want the Solid Snake one. I think that's a cool one. Eventually they're gonna bring out Sephiroth from Smash Ultimate, so I want to pick him up. But other than that, I think I have most of the ones that I ever wanted. But yeah, I just mentioned Sephiroth. They're still going strong with amiibos, but I think it is strictly from a collectible standpoint now. They don't push amiibos in video games. I feel like they're just fulfilling an obligation at this point. Sakurai said that he's going to make amiibos for every character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and that is what is happening. I think after that is done, we probably won't hear of amiibos again, but I don't know. Will they be worth a lot of money in the future? We'll see. I think they could be, but you never know how these things go. Right now, you could get some for around $200. There are some expensive-ass rare amiibos going around in the markets, but I think I'm good. I think I'm done with them. Let's talk about my favorite games on the system. This is what I really want to talk about. I don't care about the negatives. I'm trying to be positive over here on the GameFlow podcast. God damn it. Let's do it. My favorite games for the Nintendo Wii U. I'm going to give some context to some of these. Nintendo Land was very interesting. Nintendo Land to me was like the Wii Sports of Wii U. It was an interesting concept where you had this theme park. You controlled your Mii, and the theme rides were themed after Nintendo properties. So there was a Pikmin game, there was a Zelda game, there was an F-Zero game. Probably the last official F-Zero anything that we got was in Nintendo Land, which is so sad. But no, it was really cool. And they had a Metroid game where you and another player would it's like hide and seek, and then when you see each other, you start blasting each other. It's really cool. And then the Mario game too, where it actually is hide and seek. You would have some time to hide, and then the person that's it's trying to find you, and then they have to catch you. It was really good, little experiences like that in Nintendo Land. Again, played it with a lot of friends. girlfriend. Like we had a good time with that one. That one was really good. Super Mario 3D World. I absolutely love that game. That game is so damn good. I feel like it doesn't get praised enough. I was so happy when it got the Switch announcement, and even when it came out on the Switch, it still was slept on. To me, it's like people do not appreciate that game enough. I know that the 4-person multiplayer could be a little crazy, especially with the camera, but man, it's like people don't understand how, I think, revolutionary that is, because we never had that before, and that was on the Wii U that came. And I honestly think the game looked beautiful. I thought the levels were fantastic. I thought that the level of difficulty progressed really well. And if you wanted to 100% the game, you had a damn challenge in your hands, because it was like you had to do it with every character at some point. And even like the bonus worlds, there was like 3 or 4 bonus worlds after you rolled credits. Like there was a lot in this game. I actually 100% of the game on the Switch with my wife, which was a nice little accomplishment for me. Couldn't imagine doing it back in the Wii U days. The first time I played this game was actually with my little sister, and we did beat it. We didn't get 100%, but we did beat it. And that was probably the first game that I think I played with her all the way through. Other than that, she would just be the typical little sister and read me some cheat codes on Grand Theft Auto and give me some walkthrough tips on Zelda games or something. Oh man, great times. But yeah, no, Mario 3D World, man, it's one of the best Mario games ever made. Stop sleeping on it. Pick it up on the Nintendo Switch right now. And then we got a new character introduced in that game named Captain Toad. Captain Toad was responsible for like 1-person levels. You couldn't jump in those levels. It was all like very puzzly. There was like this 3D little, diorama kind of thing, and you'd walk around it, and you could change the camera angles to see what was hidden. It was like little jewels and stuff. And you couldn't jump, but there was always ways to walk around everything. And it was an interesting little gimmick. And they finally, at one point, turned it into a full-fledged game, and Captain Toad Treasure Tracker was born for the Wii U. That is another one that got ported to the Switch, and I beat that one as well. Very good. Beat it twice, Wii U and Switch. And not to mention, that version of the game got Mario Odyssey exclusive levels. So again, Nintendo making an old game resurface on a successful system and adding to it. That is just good to see. That's good stuff right there. Captain Toad was really fun. That's a game. It's kind of like I see it as more like a portable game. It's a Game Boy game to me. It's enjoyed in short bursts. I'm not gonna sit on my chair for 8 hours and play that game over and over and over again, level after level after level until I'm beating it. No, but it's really cool to just pick up and play for a couple hours every once in a while. It was a really good game. After that, Yoshi's Woolly World, man. That is a good game. That's another one that's slept on. I would even say Yoshi's Woolly World is better than Yoshi's Crafted World on the Switch. I would love to get a port of Yoshi's Woolly World. I think aesthetically it's more pleasing to the eye. All the wool stuff is really nice and cuddly. And I think level design was just better because a lot of the Crafted World levels were kind of confusing. I couldn't tell what was in the background, foreground sometimes. I thought a lot of it was very samey after a while with the cardboard. With the wool, like they made it work, and they added other elements as well with crafting, I guess. But not crafting as in like crafting items, but like literally Crafted World. But in Woolly World, there was also other crafting gimmicks. Like there was a little bit of cardboard. It wasn't all wool, but Crafted World, it was literally like most of it was cardboard, and it got kind of boring. Whereas the wool stuff, because of all the colors and stuff and how creative they were with like when Yoshi would eat an enemy, like he would unravel the wool and like make a woolly egg or whatever. It's like, damn, okay. Very, very interesting stuff. Yeah, no, I wish that one would get ported to the Switch. Really good game. Man, Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers, this was probably the most, like, I think that game was probably responsible for the most eyeballs on the Wii U, because even back then with this version of the game, they were doing Nintendo Directs where they would reveal a character. Man, I remember when Cloud got revealed. I wasn't really into Final Fantasy at the time yet, and he got revealed, and everyone like went on an uproar. It was ridiculous. Like, holy shit, I remember those days, man. And obviously today, things like Banjo-Kazooie getting announced and Joker from Persona, like, obviously those are bigger announcements, but at the time, like, dude, you didn't see Cloud on Nintendo. That didn't happen. That wasn't a thing. That was the first taste of that ever happening. And it was huge. It was a huge deal. But I think the Smash for Wii U game and 3DS, I miss it just for one reason and one reason only. It still had trophies. I don't like the fact that Ultimate doesn't have trophies. I understand why it doesn't have trophies, but I wish it did. The spirits are not a great substitute for me. I really enjoyed getting the trophies in the other games, and the Smash Brothers on Wii U was the last one to do that. So I still boot it up from time to time, and I look at the trophies. I try to get more trophies. It's really fun to me. It's like another collectible gimmick that I have here. So not only do I collect in real life, I collect on Smash Brothers as well. The Wii U also had the last ever Donkey Kong game that has been made up to this point, which was Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, which was a sequel to Donkey Kong Returns on the Wii. The Wii game, I would stay up with some buddies, like we'd get together, and man, we would try to beat that damn game. It was pretty tough, and we had great times. A lot of drunken evenings trying to play Donkey Kong Country Returns, and when Tropical Freeze came out, we did the same thing, and that game was even harder than Returns. I don't think we even ended up beating it. I didn't beat Tropical Freeze until it came out on the Switch, and I beat it with my wife, I believe. Yeah, I think I did that with my wife. I didn't do it alone. Hell no. I needed help on that one. But man, beautiful game. Like very tight platforming, great mechanics with holding onto the vines and like the way physics work in that game. I love the partners, Cranky, Dixie, Diddy, like they're all great in their own ways. I think it's a fantastic game. I would love a third one. I would love another Donkey Kong Returns game because Tropical Freeze was fantastic. It really was. I would not be mad if they announced a third game. Like I would love a 3D game, of course, but if I got a follow-up to Tropical Freeze, I would be just as happy because I know those games deliver. I know those games are quality. It was fantastic. Then we have a game that I think flipped everyone on their heads when it came out, which was Super Mario Maker, man. Mario Maker was like a dream. It was a Nintendo fan's dream. It's like Nintendo said, okay, we're not going to make any more. We're going to give you all the tools to make a Mario game. Go ahead, go nuts. Here it is. The Wii U gamepad with Super Mario Maker was perfect. That is the best control situation, like a game to controller situation I think I've ever seen. You could use that Wii U gamepad with the stylus to make levels and like draw bricks and place things wherever you want them. Like it was really, really good. And then you could like share the levels and you could play other people's levels and you could do all kinds of things. And then they had the skins. You could play levels as Link and Samus, and amiibos came into play. And every amiibo you had, you could scan and unlock a new character. Like, dude, it was really cool. Mario Maker 1, I would argue, has more of an impact on the culture than Mario Maker 2. Because Mario Maker 2, yes, it has more features. Yes, there were more tools. Like, simple things like slopes couldn't be done in the original. But I believe that Mario Maker 1, in terms of impact, man, that game was a banger. It really was. I remember picking up the deluxe edition. Not the deluxe edition, but it came with like this cool little booklet that like gave you ideas on what to build, and it came in this nice cardboard box. Like, man, Nintendo was so cool. Like they're still cool when it comes to their like when they put extra care into things like that, like giving you a nice instruction booklet to give you ideas for levels. Like that is just awesome, man. That's the Nintendo I like. That's the Nintendo I like to see. And then my last 3 favorite games on the system. I mean, there's tons, but these are the ones I'd rather talk about. The 2 Zelda games on the system, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD. Those are my favorite, and I think the best versions of those 2 games. Obviously, Wind Waker came out on the GameCube. A lot of controversy when it came out with its art style. The cel-shaded graphics were not, were not too popular with the crowd at the time. But look, it ended up aging the best. That game still looks phenomenal to this day, and that Wii U HD remaster proves it. It looks great. It still looks fantastic. And then Twilight Princess, which I think is a criminally underrated game. That HD port of it was fantastic as well. Okay, I played Twilight Princess on the Wii, and that game was mirrored from the GameCube release because of the Wii control scheme with the Wii remote on the right hand and the nunchuck on the left. Link, being usually a left-handed character with his sword, was now a right-handed character because of the Wii remote being a right-handed controller, and the whole game was mirrored to fit that right-handed thing. And it's like That's a crazy reason to switch it, but okay, that's fine. If it just made it easy like that, then if it was easier than literally just programming it to be on the other hand, it is what it is. But yeah, this game was a dual release on the GameCube and the Wii. And I never played the GameCube version, to be honest. I own it, but I never popped it in because I've never wanted to revisit that game. But when I got the Wii U version, damn right I popped that in and I went through it again. And man, the HD remaster really cleans it up, man. It really looks nice. And man, I would love more than anything, like if we're ever gonna get more Wii U ports, these two games, man. If we got those games on the Switch, I would be a very happy motherfucker. I would play the shit out of these again. Playing those on the go is pretty surreal to me, just because I'm so used to playing those on a big CRT TV and then an HD TV with the Wii, or the Wii U, sorry. And I would just love a port, because I would revisit these games again, honestly. I think Twilight Princess is pretty slept on, and Wind Waker is just a really good time anytime you play it. So kudos to that. I hope that happens. And Breath of the Wild. Let's close with Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was the last game I bought for that damn system. All right. I remember when the Switch came out March 3rd, 2017, my mother's birthday. I couldn't find the Switch for a month and a half, I believe. I just could not get one. I would call around, you know the deal. Like now with the chip shortage, like again, the same thing that's happening with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, same thing was happening with the Switch when it came out. But it wasn't a chip shortage. It was literally just Nintendo could not supply the demand. But it was really hard for me to get one. And Breath of the Wild came out on the same day the Switch came out, and I really wanted to play it, man. I couldn't wait, so I bought it on the Wii U, and I played it, and I got pretty far into it. But when I finally got a Switch, I said, okay, I'm going to buy it on the Switch now and sell my Wii U version, because like I don't mind starting over, just because I want to experience Zelda on the new system, the nice flashy new toy, and experience it handheld, because that was going to blow my mind. And I did. And look, Breath of the Wild, I think when you compare it like graphically, I think it looks pretty similar on both systems. I don't think it's a crazy amount of difference when it comes to graphics or anything like that, or processing or anything. But it does, to me, it belongs on the Switch. It just feels good on the Switch. But I did play it on the Wii U first, and it was a nice little departure from the system. If that was going to be my going home party with the Wii U, I'm glad Breath of the Wild was the game I chose to do that with. Man, in terms of its legacy, like, to me, the Wii U it should be known for a couple things. It is the birth of Splatoon. Splatoon was born on the Wii U, okay? That is, now, Splatoon 3 just came out a couple weeks ago. That is a banger. It sold like 4 million copies in Japan in the first week alone, just in Japan. And, that is the third installment in the series, but it was born on the Wii U. Splatoon came from the Wii U, which is crazy to think about how Nintendo decided to pull the trigger on a new IP on a system that was not successful. That's crazy, it's ballsy, but that's what Nintendo does. We also got Mario Kart 8. The first inception of Mario Kart 8 was on Wii U. It was the best-selling game on Wii U, like I said before, but now it's gone on to be the best-selling game on the Nintendo Switch, which is a juggernaut of a system, and the fact that that is the best-selling game on it speaks volumes to the quality of Mario Kart 8, honestly. Another thing I'd like to say, it had a very interesting Kirby game, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. Again, you use the gamepad to draw paths for Kirby to travel on, and I thought it was a really interesting idea. And I just want to say also, I'm not a Xenoblade Chronicles guy, but I did play Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I gotta say, aesthetically, and even like the way it's presented, I think that is the best game in the series. Come at me, Xenoblade people. I played Xenoblade 2 and I didn't like it, so that's why I'm saying Xenoblade X is the best. I just like the whole mech system and stuff. I thought it was really cool. If that game ever comes to the Switch, I might actually pick that up, because I thought it was pretty cool, just, from an outside perspective. The Wii U, man, it also had a really killer virtual console. Let's not forget about the virtual console, please. We had NES, SNES, N64, GBA, Nintendo DS, and Wii games available on the virtual console. Those are a lot of libraries. Those were deep libraries. There was a lot of games for each system, I'd say, except for maybe the Wii, but that wasn't really a big deal, because if you had Wii games from the previous gen, then they worked on the Wii U. I bought a lot of those. I was experiencing a lot of those games for the first time. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, I never had the cartridge. I played that on the Wii U. And that was a fantastic game, man. I love that game. A lot of Final Fantasies I also experienced on the Wii U through the GBA service. What else? The N64, like I replayed some of the classics on that. NES, SNES. I used that as literally a retro machine at one point before I actually started to have the physical cartridges. But a lot of that was on the Wii U first. Like Earthbound. I remember buying Earthbound on the Wii U. Never got to play it, but I bought it because I knew how much of a big deal that was, and the Wii U provided that service for me. Like, I'm just gonna say it now, the Wii U Virtual Console, I will take that any day over what the Nintendo Switch is currently offering with that, essentially rent this game while you have the subscription, and we're gonna drip feed NES games once, one game a month essentially, and not even one game whenever they feel like it now. And it's gonna be some obscure ass title I never heard about, and it might be bad. Like this Virtual Console, although it wasn't as good as the Wii's, it was still a damn banger of a Virtual Console, and I wish it came back because I would really take advantage of it this time and buy the shit out of games. And I have been buying the shit out of games leading up to this month or last month when the service shut down. I was trying to get some last minute things that I was never able to get, and I'm excited to try some of the things I bought. And the Wii U, man, the Virtual Console was strong, really strong. And I just want to say also, I mentioned it before, but it is backwards compatible with all Wii games and Wii accessories. So if you still want to pop in Wii Sports and use like a fake tennis racket, you could do that. The Wii U lets you do that, and it's beautiful for that. I think I've covered all my bases. If I'm going to talk about any games that I still want to play on the Wii U, besides Virtual Console stuff, I do want to play the Paper Mario game on it. I never got to. I got a really bad taste in my mouth after, Sticker Star on the 3DS. I thought that game was balls. A lot of other people thought it was balls. But I heard the writing in Color Splash is worth it. I heard it's worth going through the card system or whatever they have, which I'm naturally not a fan of card systems, but I might check it out. And another one was Sonic Lost World. Sonic Lost World was essentially Sonic's take on Mario Galaxy, and I've always thought it looked interesting. I know it's not the best game. I've watched some reviews, but I would just like to try it just for curiosity's sake. I want to see what a game like that plays like. And I think that's it, man. Like, if I missed anything, I'm sorry. We've been talking for about 40 minutes now. But no, I think the Wii U is slept on. I think the Wii U needs more recognition. I think it needs to be praised a little more. We need to give the Wii U its flowers, goddammit. I think it was a phenomenal system, honestly. Looking back at it, I don't think it's as bad as people say it was. I know it was financially a flop, but take that away, I think it's still a pretty stellar system with a good Virtual Console, a good little library of games. I know, again, not the biggest library, not a lot of third party, but I think when it comes to first party stuff, it was pretty good, honestly. So, cheers to the Wii U. May you live on forever in our hearts. And goodbye.